Broadcast is live. Look at us. Look at the kitty.
Say hello.
Mary.
Isn't it?
Reunited. And it feels so good. Mary, show everyone your kitty.
Now my kitty wants to get down. It's not mine, but the kittens are getting big. Oh.
So cute. I love you, kitty. And if I didn't have a house full of pets, you'd be mine. I'd come get you right now.
Goodbye, kitty. You're crying too much.
I'll show you my cuteness. I don't want to bother him too much, but I'm watching a cute little boy right here. Hold on. This is Tucker. Tucker. Look at this dog. Do you see him? He's a puppy. I'm bad with the camera. There he is. Isn't he cute? You can't really see him. I'm bad with the camera. He's very tired. My husband's probably like, I could probably just pick him up. Hold on. Sorry. We're having a shoot off. I'm going to get him. I don't care. I know you're tired. Come here. Want to hear a really dumb joke?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Mary. Ready? Mary, you're in lucker because it's Tucker.
Oh my gosh, you can hardly see him. He's just like a massive black with little shinies.
I love him so much. Did you hear that? I love you so much. I love you so much. Okay. Everyone say bye to Tucker.
Bye, Tucker. Nice to meet you.
He's laying on my bed.
The name's a little triggering.
Whoa, because of Tucker Carlson?
Tucker, he lost his job. He got fired.
He was speaking too much truth.
Amen. Amen. Yeah. So, how are you? Long time no see.
You know,
even though I literally just saw you yesterday, but you know.
We had a great day. We'll talk about our day because, you know what, I've been trying to explain those graveyards forever. And as soon as you saw it, you nailed it. I'm good. I'm still an emotional roller coaster, probably multi-personality. Today, you guys caught a good one. You know, dealing with the crazy world.
Yeah.
You? How are you?
How am I? Why do I always have such a hard time? I'm like you. Like right now, yeah, I'm fine. I'm feeling fine. Right. But you know, yesterday was a great day going up to Salem and having a look around. So we were going to do this thing. It's called crap. It's not geocaching. Remember that stupid app?
Oh, we never even did it. I don't know. You told
That's because when I did the coordinates, remember, it kept giving me private property. So let me see what the heck this thing's called. Because John Boy's been doing it too. Randonautica is what it's called. And
oh yeah, I guess I just heard that from you because that's a name. I remember the name. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I guess I just heard about it from you. I remember the name, like Randonautica. So private property.
It's but it's like one of the biggest apps of 2023, even though it came out a while ago. And so supposedly what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get your phone and you hit to get it coordinates, and you're supposed to set your intention, which is
no, they're trying to read our minds.
This is what Wheels was saying when we were talking about it. He's like, I don't trust that. I wouldn't mess around with that one bit. And so anyway, we couldn't do it up there in Salem because where they were sending me was private property. So there's that. But I will say John Boy has had some weird experiences with it where like he will be playing, he went like to hang out with his brother, and he put in the coordinate, it showed him like the coordinates, and then it said it's like showed him some random spot, and his brother's like, that's where I just buried my dog.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That just gave me chills a little bit. I wouldn't play around with that. As usual, I'm with Wheels. I don't there's not many times I disagree with Wheels. That's for dang
I'm
sure.
sometimes I'm afraid that we border on superstition though, with
Yeah.
like, that's of the devil. Like talk about the mother from Waterboy. I feel like a lot of the times we do kind of fall into that that
Yeah, right.
you know, mentality. And it's like literally it's just an app and oh my god, the kitten. Guys, before I went live, I had some french fries and because I couldn't fit my camera here too, I just put it on the floor and the kitten's eating a french fry. I don't think that's good
Mhm.
for it. But
I didn't think
anyway,
it's that long a French fry,
people
but
have like found bodies and like really random weird stuff at different at these coordinates, but I'm not gonna it's too much adventure.
too
Adventures
much
make one late for dinner.
adventure. What? Wait.
Adventures make one late for dinner.
Yeah,
Bilbo
that's a good
Baggins.
see. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like some sort of Luddite, or I just I'll admit it. There's a little bit of fear. There's also a little bit of like I don't have time to learn this stuff and no interest. I'm just kind of like I said. I just like if I don't already know how to do it on the computer, I'm kind of good. Like I don't need any more. There's nothing I
Mhm.
really need. There's nothing I need. I'm a big fan of the GPS. It makes it easier to do my job. I don't know. But that's
Yeah.
just me. That's just me. We had a fun day. We did discover. We tried to like. I invited Mary up my way, and I was like, let's go to lunch. And we haven't been on. I want to see you. And we're gonna have like a Clown World Cousins meeting. we did discover that when we meet in person, face to face, without any other distractions, we veer off into a million different topics, and usually so it's just really we can't stay on track a lot, Mary. It's just who we are.
I know. I loved the whole meeting, and then we get to the end of the meeting, it's like, "All right, well, what are we gonna do?" It's like, "I don't know." Wait, we're trying to
Totally.
get solutions? I thought we were
Yeah.
just gonna complain for an hour.
Totally. Oh, I just snorted. Good start. There we go. Oh,
Oh, does
so
GPS yeah, I guess it would be global positioning.
hi, Frank. GPS has this. Oh, globe. How dare you? Yeah,
Mm,
global positioning service. It is amazing though. It gets me. I don't know how anyone did my job before GPS because I'm driving around picking up adorable doggies. And I mean,
mhm,
I mean, imagine like having like a paper map and call like having to stop and use a payphone. But that's what people used to do.
mhm. I think it's really important to keep, an atlas in the car, but that's again, that's because I'm a prepper, and if I have to bug out, guys, I need my paper maps. Please, so Mike's saying, "Please
I don't.
interrogate."
Go ahead.
Oh, police interrogations, make one late for dinner. 2, after finding a body using that app. But,
Yeah.
the police usually spring for food, alright? So, there's you
Yeah.
get dinner. You get dinner in the
I
interrogation
hope I
room.
know. Speaking of police, you know what I've been doing a lot, and he said I could talk about him.
Hmm.
I've been working a lot, going back to how we've been. I've been working a lot. Thank God. It's a blessing. And like I work Monday through Friday. For me, that's a lot. To like, you know what I mean? I kind of feel like Cinderella. I'm invited to a party tomorrow, but I literally have too much laundry to do. I don't know if I can go. I know, right?
You'll be
So
fine.
anyway, I've been hanging all around a lot with Prison Mike
Yes.
because I told him that's his name. And that's as for those that don't know, that's my brother. And he's my younger brother. And he said I could talk about him. He is someone that has had his run-ins with the law, and he's
Mhm.
just out of prison. And don't worry, he's not dangerous. He's kind of a public nuisance. And so anyway, I've been hanging out with him a lot. And
Yeah?
he's on an upswing. And I was just saying to my brother, and I really meant this. It's like being in prison, you learn a lot. A lot. I feel like me going to college, he learned more useful information in prison. He's not using it. But like, there's two types of prisoners. And I told him I was going to tell you this, and everyone. There's two types of prisoners: people that get arrested and get into the system. In my opinion, if I'm wrong, correct me. But this is what I find. There's the type that something happens where they did it or whatever, and they get sent to jail or prison, and they're like, oh, hell no. This is never going to happen again. And they're out and they're done and they clean up their life. My dear friend's brother was like that. He got sent to prison on like some minor drug stuff. And he's kind of like materialistic. And he's like, this is too dirty. This is too disgusting. And now he's doing great. But then there's the second type. They like 3 hots in a cot. They like being told what to do. And my brother won't even deny this. There's a secret part of them that kind of likes the prison culture.
Oh yeah.
So Prison Mike, my brother, is a little bit of a reoccurring visitor. So
yeah,
it is what it is. He said I could mention it. Heart of gold, charismatic as the days long. But honestly, he's learned more than I've learned out on the outside.
I'm trying to think of what they're called, but there is people that they do feel more comfortable in the prison system. And it's like, well, really, if you look at these people, what are their other options? Being homeless?
Excuse me.
Leslie.
Thank you.
Like homelessness, joblessness. It's like, yeah, you go to prison, you have it somewhat. I mean, I've never been to prison, so maybe this is just as seen on TV and it's not accurate, but I feel like you have like a schedule, right? When you're in there, and you can get
3 hots in a cot, they call it.
What is 3 hots in a cot?
3 hot meals and a cot to sleep on.
Oh, I thought you were saying 3 hots in a cot.
No, 3 hots in a cot. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and people, and my brother is like one of those people, and I again, like he's out and he's in his upswing. We go to breakfast almost every Saturday, and I've been really enjoying his company. The kids love seeing him. It's just hard though, it's not hard, but it's I hope he can, but I don't know.
He must have some crazy stories.
Here he comes. You want to come say hi? Here's Prison Mike.
Prison Mike.
Come around and sit over here. Here's Prison Mike. Come sit over here.
That 3 hots in a cot is a myth.
Oh, come here. Tell us. We're gonna get scared straight today by Prison Mike. Come tell us.
Oh. Come on, Corcoran.
Hold on, I'm gonna show you. He's talking to the dog.
Good boy.
Isn't he good boy? All right, Corcoran, if you want to come talk,
the hots aren't hot, and there's nothing good about it.
Yeah, the hots aren't hot. I heard, Mary. I've heard that like Corcoran. I heard the food actually says inedible or like not fit for humans. Come talk to us. Come sit down.
Hold on, I want to tell your brother something real quick. So there's this other guy on YouTube. His name's Boston Ray. And he did this whole like side by side. It was, is this a cafeteria? Is this a school or is this a prison? And he would show like stills of like cafeterias in public school.
I missed that one.
Versus prisons. So I'm guessing that prison food is a lot like public school food.
Yeah. Well, the school, right? I missed that one, and I have to go look for it. And
it was hilarious.
I'll ask Joe to tell Ray to send it to me. It sounds hilarious because it is similar. My kids say to me when they're trying to stay home every day, which is one of them. It's always one of them wanting to stay home, and it's very hard to argue with them because it's like they're like, I don't want to go to prison. It's like it is prison. Corcoran, anything else you want to say? I don't know if Corcoran wants to come on that.
Yeah, kids in sports, stay out of court.
Did you hear him?
No.
Corcoran, that's my brother. My
kids in sports stay out of courts.
Kids in sports stay out of courts.
I am such an advocate of youth sports.
Yeah.
I'm a huge advocate. Unfortunately, it's being politicized now where they're making it less fun, but it is good.
They're making everything less fun with it's just being inserted. Like, so back to how I'm doing. All right, thanks for joining us, Prison Mike.
I wanted to ask him what it was
we
like.
have more questions though.
Oh, was he in during like 2020?
Yeah, he was in prison during 2020. We have some questions about you guys were tortured, and I want to know about that. I want to know about that uprising in Dartmouth.
Well, they sent all the people from Dartmouth to where I was being held. Yeah, through 20. She talking about 2020.
2020.
The pandemic.
The fake ass.
Yeah,
whatever it was.
Me and one other guy were one of 35 people that didn't get vaccinated.
Can you hear him?
Everybody in all the prison people, that officers that walked around in the prison that I never even talked to or didn't even know, knew that I didn't get vaccinated.
Say jabbed. Just
jabbed. And it's just funny how they wanted you to do it. And because I didn't, I was held in a cell for 23 days at a time without getting out, just to get out to shower.
Oh my God.
I had to do it like 3 times.
Solitary confinement.
Yeah, I had to do it.
That's
3
messed
times.
up. That's torture.
3 times in a row, they made me do 23 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he doesn't go to jail for hurting people. He's just a public nuisance.
Like the rest of us, we should all be locked up.
Well, you know what? The other day I was like getting like a gunk out of my eye or something while I was driving, and I was like, what the hell? And then I looked up at the road and I was like, well, thank you, God, that I didn't just get in an accident, because I was just completely distracted. So we've all been there. Anything else, Corcoran, you want to share?
No, you guys know.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. I wish you'd come on camera and say hi to your cousin Mary.
I know. Let's see how handsome you are. Come on.
Let's see how handsome you are. I'll tell her about when we go to the Anchor. All the ladies swoon.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. You look young.
Oh,
yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Lighting and makeup, huh? Am I right, guys?
You're very youthful.
Oh. He told me I look good. He didn't tell me youthful. Thanks.
Everybody.
Thank
you guys all look great.
He said I look like a real housewife.
All right.
Bye. Thanks. Thanks, Prison Mike. You come back later if you want to join us. He's downstairs.
That is so messed up that they would put him in solitary confinement over that. Solitary confinement literally makes people crazy.
It's literal torture for what they did to these prisoners. And what kills me, and I don't know the ins and outs, because it's one of those things that I really can't look at because I can't handle it. Even though my brother's in the system, but truth be told, he's been given so many hands to stay out of the system. So I think that's why I'm kind of frustrated, and I'll say that to his face. But it was torture what they do to these people. And I was watching a stream from one of Ray's friends, and she was saying that there was some prison that they still can't have human visitors. They're still only doing virtual visits. I don't know the details. It's not something I literally can't handle looking into it. My MO and my plan is to just stay as far away from the system and teach my kids to do the same thing forever. I don't want any part of it.
I know. You do the crime, you do the time, but at the same time, from what I heard, not from him, but from somebody close to him, is that it was very abusive. It was punishment. It's almost like they're in there and they're doing their time, right? But then on top of it, there was all these mind games that were being played, and yes, I don't know. It's a little disturbing. Yeah, what's going on with Three Fingers?
I think that you have to be kind of a messed up person to be a prison guard. I'm sorry if any. I don't know if any prison guards are listening to me, but like, I don't know. But that's me. I'm not a bossy person. I can't imagine like It's just there's not a molecule or whatever in my body that could ever like
Well, it's
walk
because our
around with a
prison,
gun and tell other people
our
what to do.
system is so messed up. So you do have people in there for doing some like messed up crap. You do have people in there that are charged. They get as much time as basically murderers, even though they were just doing something, substance wise, we'll just say. And but then also they, because we don't have like separate like mental facilities, they're all maxed out. So they just stick a bunch of crazy people in there too with you. And it's like yeah, just the whole system I think is really messed up.
Right. I that is that's I would fall into category A. If God forbid I ever got into the system, I would do everything I can to get out as soon as possible. I'm getting good behavior. And I'm never going back. I already know it is not my cup of tea. I value my freedom too much to even carry I leave my phone at home most of the time. I
I
can't
could see me
handle it.
being like institutionalized in a prison. I like structure. I like, it's for me would almost be liberating, except I wouldn't be able to see my kids, which stink, or be in my room. But it's like I keep saying this, but it's very true. I pretty much stay in my room like a lot.
You're saying.
Yeah, and I like the comfort and the security of a small confined space. So, but the thing that would get me is having to have a roommate. That's why.
Yeah.
But hold on. I want to see this. Yeah, what's going on, Three Fingers? You okay? I hope everything's well.
Oh, hi,
First time I
fingers.
was locked up, I had a $2 million bail. So what is that? So you would have to come up with $200,000? Is that what it is? You have to come up with a certain percentage? Anyway, and was thrown in with some messed up individuals. That's crazy. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know what your offense was, Frank, and I'm not asking you to share it, but it's like that's what murderers get. And I'm pretty certain you're not a murderer, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
First time. Wow. So Frank, I would be. Did you think? I don't feel like Frank's never going to go back. I don't know him that well, but he's your good friend. And so
But
first time, that means that there was another time. So maybe that blows my whole theory out of the water. Maybe there are people that can go a couple times and then still turn their life around. I feel because before tonight, I really was kind of thinking that if you went twice, it's kind of almost all over for you. You like it.
well, it
Maybe
doesn't
it's
it's
third time.
for Frank, I would say it's because holy crap, Frank. What has Frank been up to in his previous life? But I don't think he was a Christian at this point. So maybe he would have been institutionalized if he didn't come to Christ. I don't know, you know. But I do want to say
Praise
hi
God.
to so Soul Alpha is saying that yeah, bail is 10%. But I stink at math. So $2 million. So that wouldn't be 20,000. That would be 200, right? That's crazy.
I'm just like la la la. Someone's
I'm
asking a
doing
math question.
math. I'm doing math in my head.
Yeah, I'm doing math. So Faye's gonna look up at the ceiling.
How you doing, Amelia? Um, yeah. Yeah, okay. See, that's the thing. I mean, yeah, 200K. All right. This is just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. That's really messed up. I mean, 16 counts of assault. You're not a murderer, but you're getting close at that point.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Oh, thank God. I'm
What?
watching this dog and I just realized that you have to I thought that in the background of the picture I sent her of her dog because you have to send I thought it was a big tag that said Flattoberfest.
She wouldn't even know what that meant.
I know, but you know what? I'm sorry. Keep it on the DL, okay? I need to with when it comes to business. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Um, I'm so excited to see everybody. We missed you.
Hi, Joe D. Cork says once you're in the system, they have no. His name is Prison Mike up
This
here
is what
now.
I'm thinking. This
He's
is
a
what
new
I was thinking.
character.
It's like once. Oh wait, hold on. You get money off. Oh, okay. Once you're in the system, they have no problem putting you back to make money off of you. And also,
Eh.
I'm assuming once you're in the system, there's kind of a bullseye on your back that even if you get approached by a police officer to be, for anything, they're just going to assume, yeah, let's just lock them up.
I can't I've heard like things about it. I've never really done an official and in quality deep dive on it because I get too mad too early. But I've heard that these prisons aren't even owned by the government. They're like private companies. I don't know. I seriously, like, sometimes when people talk about it, I have to like go into La La Land because
I
again,
don't think that they should be owned by the
my
government.
baby brother's in the system. Sorry, Mary, go ahead.
No, your baby brother's in the system.
Yeah. And so that's the reason why when people do deep dives on it, it's too much for me to handle. I'm a very out of sight, out of mind type of person. That's how I am. I have reverse hypochondria.
Yeah,
I never think about getting sick and I don't want to hear about it.
Okay, so he Alpha say hey Soul Alpha. He's saying they are privately owned, but I don't know if I would be comfortable with, well, don't they said, wait, now I'm confused. Hold on. Okay, there's federal prison, right? And that obviously has to be owned by the government. That can't be privately owned.
I think that it might be privately owned, Mary. I don't know.
No, I think we're thinking of like, whatever we have up here in Walpole prison. That's probably privately owned.
Yeah.
But it's messed up. I'm not sure how much I want the government involved in corrections, but yet at the same time, now they're making it a business. Going back to what your brother was saying, right? So because they're making it a business, it's like, no, get them. See, Joe's saying not necessarily. Oh, private. Okay, private. It's a max security. All right. I don't know. That's weird. I agree. That is weird, Faye.
I just want to stay far away from it. I don't want it near my kids. I don't want to be in the system. That's how I feel. It bothers me. I want my brother to stay out. It's better out on the outside. Prison Mike.
I know, Prison Mike.
So that's an Office Prison reference. Mike. I know, because it's Mary's hilarious reference, because I told her that my brother might be coming over tonight, and she sent me, for anyone who watches The Office out there, and if you don't, then I've watched it 5 times, binged it. And Michael Scott's my favorite TV character of all time, and there's this time when he comes in, for you guys that know and remember, and he's like, I'm gonna scare you straight. I'm gonna scare you straight, all of you. He's like, I'm Prison Mike.
Yep.
So funny. It was perfect, Mary. Well, I always love me some Michael Scott. So.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, it really does upset me how messed up the system is. And it's funny because yesterday when I was shooting my mouth off to you and then in turn your husband, this whole thing about DNA, and I wasn't going to talk about it, Faye, and I haven't done any more research, but we have a case right now, which is the Idaho 4 murders. You've heard me talk about it. And they're using, what they used to arrest this guy was supposedly touch DNA on a knife sheath. And so then you can, how it works, you can follow like all these things filed. Yeah.
Give me a little synapse. I honestly don't know. I did see pictures of them, all these gorgeous blonde people, but I don't know what happened. Give me a synopsis of the crime. And then what like happened? They got a knife, like the girl killed someone. It's on
what the freaking narrative is. See, sorry to
the narrative.
Yeah. What the narrative. Say it again.
Synopsis of the narrative. Very good. I want to hear
it. What it is, and I'm only saying narrative because I'm not sure this guy's guilty. I feel like this guy, from what we're seeing, might be being railroaded. So basically on, I want to say November 13th of last year, somebody went into a house and murdered 4 college students by stabbing. The thing that's interesting about this,
How do how do you
hold on,
murder
hold
4
on before you
people
ask.
with a knife? Okay, I'm
Let
sorry.
me, no, it's
1
weirder.
versus 4? I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's weirder than even
Okay.
just that. I knew you were going to say that because that's the first
I
thing
haven't
that's
heard this.
like,
Yeah, go ahead.
wait, what? So the thing that makes it even more bizarre is that it's 2 per room. So not one person was alone. Also, there's plenty of evidence to show both set of people were awake. Okay. So already it's like, how is this
Say they were
even?
drinking? Were they like drugged or drinking?
Oh,
Are they
they were partying. There's like,
partying?
there's cam footage of them at a like Grubhub, not a Grubhub, a Grub truck. And these 2 girls are like the 2 beautiful blonde ones. They're like, they're a little woozy. But it's not the point. The point is you sober up real quick if you're being attacked. And
Yeah.
you
You
know,
do.
and this person had like no scratch marks on them. They were in class, by the way, the next day on Monday. So they find the bodies. Oh, there's so much. But anyway, the bottom line is
Wait, who was in class the next day?
this guy that they have
Was
arrested,
accused. Okay.
and they're saying there was touch DNA on a knife sheath in the house. Okay? So DNA, I'm already really skeptical about to begin with, because maybe in my blood there's DNA, maybe in certain other body fluids there's DNA, touch DNA, which means skin cells. It's just bullcrap. So anyway, with this case, everything, there's a gag order on the case, which means nobody's allowed to talk about it, but you can follow the documents going back and forth through the court records, right? I'm sorry, I love this crap. So in the court records, you can see that the defense is asking for the lab that processed the DNA and who the technicians were who processed the DNA. And then the prosecution says, oh, we're not even using that evidence because it's so controversial. They used it to arrest the person. They know it won't hold up in court. So therefore, they used it to arrest this PhD student that is Houdini, apparently, and a MMA fighter who was even capable of doing that. He wasn't. He was a PhD, but I mean, he'd have to be freaking Houdini to commit this crime by himself. And so anyway, they're railroading this guy, and it's frustrating because I follow a lot of true crime channels, and I'm seeing people like calling for this guy to be, they're like lynch mob, these people. And it's like, you guys, don't you see that there's like literally no evidence, and the evidence that they did have now they're not using in court?
Who are the people that are like lynch mob? Is it the families of the victims? Like, what are the sides being drawn? Or are they just like,
It's the the people like me on YouTube who like to just follow this stuff, and we're not experts by any means, but it's literally, people have no concept of what our criminal justice system is supposed to look like, and they're so everybody's wants this guy's head on a pike, where there's like no evidence basically right now. They even got the year of his car wrong. It's just all kinds of messed up. But what was my point in all of this? I'm all worked up now.
DNA. And
No, the DNA was used to what I believe railroad this guy. Now, if it goes to trial and I find out there's like blood, the victim's blood in his car, I'll be like, yo, I was wrong. But as it stands right now, it's really suspicious the way that they're using this DNA evidence. And people don't think that the I'm just going to say the government, all right? Even though I know it's not the government, but they don't believe that, yes, they had to solve this crime and quickly. They don't believe that people will be railroaded.
Yeah.
Like, to them, that's like, no, I completely trust,
So I don't want to sound like a dum-dum, but I'm going to do it. I don't use the term railroaded in my vocabulary very often. I've heard it. So can you explain what you mean by railroaded for me?
How about a patsy?
Oh, Patsy's just
A
like
fall guy.
Patsy always makes me think of the JFK Oswald coming out like, I'm just a patsy, I'm innocent. And that was
And
haunting.
so
Okay.
what we have in this case is really, really big. I know you don't follow this stuff, but it's huge. Okay.
Well, I don't follow this stuff, but we were talking about links back because you were blowing my mind, just telling me little tidbits about this whole conversation of DNA and how they did a DNA grab and what is DNA. And now, because you're related to someone who did 23 and me, they now technically have your DNA. It's so, I mean, it's
Because
connected.
okay, let me summarize this also really quickly. And I'm not I'm just talking about this because I'm obsessed with this case because it's one of the few cases that I'm like, wait, I think this case is actually real, unlike Gabby Petito and things like that, where you're just like, is this real? I do think it's a real homicide investigation, but I'm watching it go down and I'm like, nothing about this is right. So to get his DNA, because he's not in CODIS or anything, he has no priors. And so they they took his DNA and they compared it to other DNA from genetic genealogy websites. And so basically, if you gave your, back in the day, now they have you sign something acknowledging that your DNA will be used. But back when this whole thing first started, you didn't have to sign anything. So you do your stupid buccal swab and send it off and be like, where did I come from? But now, right? But
Which
now,
is so sad. You used to know where you came from because you'd be sitting around by a fire and grandma would be telling you. It makes me, oh, what have we given up? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
But so what they did is they started subpoena. Is it a subpoena? They'd go in to these Ancestry, 23andMe type banks, because now these are DNA banks. They'll subpoena to figure out where there's a genetic match to people that have perpetrated a crime. And the way that they're making it, again, online, is the most amazing thing, because now, like, we had a cold case. It was called The Boy in the Box. It was a very, very sad case. It was a little boy he was beaten to death, horribly abused. They found him in a box by the side of the road in the 1950s. And he was buried as a John Doe, right? And then, oh my gosh, don't you guys know that the genetic data banks, we now know, we have this boy's name. I think it was Joseph Augustine. And everybody was so excited, and they're like, yes, finally justice for the boy in the box, because now we know who his parents are, and most likely they're the ones who did this horrible crime. But that's kind of how it's being marketed to the public, as this wonderful thing that's going to, dead children that are found in woods, they're getting justice now, instead of this other whole hold on, Fluffy, slow down. You only know this information because I told you. But so they're like spinning it as this great thing, whereas in the Kohberger case, he has a relative who gave their DNA to one of these ancestral type banks without realizing that they were going to be used to incriminate a family member. Okay.
So
Which
it's a
is
lot, but
so
like where this is going, false accusations all day. It's you can see where it's going.
It's hard. And now we have, yes, and as Mike just pointed out, Blackstone is buying Ancestry.com. And so forever, I know I'm ranting, Faye, but I
But
gotta.
you're the only one that told me about that.
So,
Blackstone.
yeah. So forever I was like, is DNA even really a thing? I'm not sure. Is it because there's cameras everywhere? They're just saying, oh, it's this magical thing called DNA. But now I'm like, wait, what are they buying? What's the resource that they want? Like a company like Blackstone.
You want to know what my guess is?
Yeah.
But this is my guess. My gut's telling me blood type. They're so into the blood. I don't know, blood type and maybe other information.
I think they're
wanna-
looking for the actual 12 tribes of Israel. They want to
which
know
is
who
related
has
to blood type to me.
yeah, who has what, who's from whom. Well, but I mean, again, that's a crazy conspiracy theory. But now, as we get closer to the end times, they want to know where we're at. You know, it just IMO.
Well, they're trying to usher in the end time. So yeah, that makes sense. They want to say, is it working? Is all our diabolical crap that we're pushing on everyone working? God, you're going to do something? Yeah, I buy that. Like the Rosicrucian philosophy is like they want the reason they do evil is because they want God to come back. I mean, okay. I mean, I think that's paraphrased in a very
No.
I heard that
I
once.
know what you mean. I know what you mean. But it's like, you know, our Lord himself was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm here to what did he say, Frank? Frank would know better. He's much better at scripture, but it's like I've come to find or to unite or something the 12 tribes. He only said it once. It was a passing comment. But at the same time, it's like we do know that there was the two captivities, right? There was the Babylonian and the other captivity, and the other ones, I can't remember who it was, but they were like scattered. They were like the lost sheep.
After the sack of when Rome sacked Jerusalem, the 70 AD
Is that what it was? Anyway, again, we're not scripture
official
scholars.
narrative, but yeah, the official story is that once Jerusalem was sacked, it was donezo until I think 1945 or whenever, you know, they gave the tribe their homeland back. I think,
but I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that the different tribes are like, all right. So a lot of people say, what is it, Dan? Dan went over to like the Isles, the England, Ireland, Wales, over there, and that's why forever the on the Irish flag was the harp, because legend, now it's just legend, none of this is historic. Legend has it that when he came over, he brought the harp of David with him. And forever, the harp was on the Irish flag. In fact, they call Irish people harps, right?
the Hebrew language and Gaelic are extremely similar. I've mentioned before on the show, and this is my religion. My religion is I pray to God all day, every day about everything. I don't know what you call that, but I can't get out of bed without doing that. That's my religion. But I am open to the theory that we are post-apocalyptic and the millennial reign has happened. That's 1,000 years or however God looks at it, that Jesus Christ was actually ruling on the earth. It's not my religion. I'm not going to lay my head on a guillotine for it, but I'm open to it. And there's a lot, Mary, I've heard that a lot. I've listened to whole presentations about that the real New Jerusalem is the British Isles and Ireland and England and all those places. But I mean, we've all been there on Truth or Stuff. You know, it's really fun. I've heard other stuff that like Utah is like Utah, Judah. John Levi has presented all that stuff. It's very interesting. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so I do disagree with you on the millennial. Only I think,
Like I said, I'm not hanging my hat on it. I'm just
yeah,
open to it.
I think like a lot of people completely discount World War One, World War Two, all those horrible things. I sometimes now will entertain the idea of like, was that the beginning of the tribulation? You know? Oh, I've a moth. Get out of here. Get out of
Well,
here,
I look at
you.
it as it's the short season of Satan. I just did help to I mean, it was horrific. And my son had to write the a million billionth paper. I swear to God, these kids are getting the same papers. I literally gave him a paper I wrote 20 years ago in college because I don't care. And it was how the Treaty of Versailles hurt Germans. You know what I mean? And it's like
Mhm.
everyone agrees that World War One was a conflict like the world has never seen. They had machinery, they had technology, you know. I think millennial reign is done as well. I'm open. I'm very open to it. It feels very post-apocalyptic, even when I walk the dogs every day. Okay, like there's stairs, there's bricks.
Um,
It's just interesting. Go
Also,
ahead, Mary.
I do want to point out the difference between World War One and World War Two is, World War One was like kind of like the war to end all wars. That's what it was called. And then we had World War Two, and it was only more of a horrible nightmare. I mean, you look at I don't, I know people, well, now they're gone. But literally, people who lived through that as young children in England, these people aren't they I don't think that like some NPC came up to me and told me this story. I
I
think
agree.
literally this person went through this absolutely terrifying
I think it's
experience,
horrific. I agree. And
you
and
know?
but now look at where we are at 2023, and I'm not pointing fingers at anyone, but I look around me. I was walking some dogs today in the woods. I left my phone in the car, praying a lot. I really don't know anyone that isn't traumatized. You get mad. I know so many stories of abuse of people growing up. I'm talking like we all do, guys. But then you start thinking about what their parents did or the abusers went through. So for like okay, for my mother was telling me, I was just like thinking about like something about my dad. I was getting mad about my dad's childhood and Vietnam and stuff. She goes,
Right.
"You know that your grandmother, our nana, she came to Ireland when she was 13 years old.
She
She
left Ireland and
she
came to
left. Oh
America.
yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
She left Ireland to go to this new place. 13 years old, never saw her mother and parents again. So, and that's true.
And
Like we
and
know
also she didn't hop on a plane. A
I got you. I
plane
got you.
day.
Yeah.
She had to go on a ship to get
And
over
she
here
was
at 13.
right. And think about the abuse and inappropriateness that we know about, like a young 13-year-old girl, probably unaccompanied. Her family's behind her. She's got to go because they're starving in the farm. I was watching The Devil's. So again, back to the Millennial Kingdom, and I thought this was like a truth drop. Have you ever seen The Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves?
No.
Okay, it's kind of a good one. I mean, I like it, because at the end, good prevails. It's one of those movies where Keanu's working for the devil. He's a lawyer. She's married to like Charlize Theron. But anyway, so I was watching it. And at the end, Al Pacino's the devil, and he's like, "Can anyone deny that the 20th century was all mine?" And I was like, "Well, there you have it. It was all yours, wasn't
That
it?"
gives me chills, actually.
Yeah, you
It was
should
the
watch it. You
bloodiest.
should watch it. It's okay for your older kids, but not your younger ones.
Yeah, they say it was the bloodiest millennia.
Yeah.
It was the bloodiest because
Right.
the
And then
bloodshed.
and
And
people were so mind manipulated. We are sitting I go to bed with a headache most nights because of the propaganda and all the lies. They didn't have what we have now to talk about it. That's why I think we're in the apocalypse. The apocalypse is just the great unveiling. Who knows how long it will go on? So, what?
hold on, but I'm confused because dang it, the millennial reign comes after the apocalypse.
I don't know.
Doesn't?
I
Right?
can pass
Wait, right?
not my brother's here. He can tell you that we used to watch Bible quiz shows, and I can pass them. But
Oh,
honestly, I don't know how the timelines line up. You know what I mean? All I know is that when I was growing up, I was around a lot of Protestants, and one of their favorite topics was the end times, the end times, the end times. They
oh
loved it,
yeah.
and I love them to death. You know, and I'd rather talk about that than the weather, but it was more exciting.
Yeah.
But like everyone would always say no one knows the day of the hour and the apocalypse. Hollywood has tried to always portray this idea of the apocalypse as like, everything's black and white, and everyone, like, people are just like, there's no food. It's like the movie The Road, for example. The Road, the book The Road, that horrific book. But in
Course.
reality, apocalypse just means the unveiling. Every hidden truth will be known. And believe me, I'm not preaching. I don't know. I'm just thinking it just seems like a lot of truths are coming to light, even though a lot of it's blurry.
After the reign of Satan is loosed to, yeah, because hold on, Frank. Now I'm thinking my computer keeps going into sleep mode. Um so let's say we are, I mean, I don't remember the millennial reign, but then doesn't it say Satan will be loose for a short time?
And
So
that's where the theory is that I think that we're at.
I don't know.
I don't. And again, I'm not going to lay my head. I will lay my
I
head
know.
on the guillotine before I denounce God and Jesus Christ. That I will do.
And
But I'm
also,
not
this
going to do it
is
to be
this
like,
is only
hey, are we in the millennial reign? I'm not dying over that. Who knows?
I know. Yeah, and also now I'm confused. You're just confusing me, Faye.
Sorry.
Because I do appreciate the whole like study of the book of Revelation and comparing it to like Daniel and other parts of scripture. But I will say it's almost like entertainment in a weird way. We shouldn't be as fixated on it as we are. We should focus more on the life of, our Lord and how to emulate him better and how to be better example. People do focus a lot on like, where are
That's
we? What's the
that's
timeline? It's like some of them may as well be pulling cards on it. Like,
Mary,
all
and
right,
you know what? From what to keep myself edified and sane, I've had to like look back to like the lives of the saints, and they would agree with you 100%. And not because they said what you just said, but because that's what they did. They meditated on the life and the work of Jesus Christ. And you know what I mean? The passion, they just meditated on it. And are those your cats meowing? Or is my cat in distress?
your cat. Oh wait, is it my chair? I do have a squeaky
Link.
chair. My cats
Sorry.
aren't meowing. I have no cats in my room. Hold on. Did you
Just
tell me that?
surrounded by all this cuteness. Yeah.
Did you tell me
So
Prison
anyway,
Mike was back? Is he back?
Prison Mike. I know we're not on a Prison Mike topic, but I love Prison Mike.
Yeah. Is he? Does he want to say something? He's welcome to talk.
Oh no, I heard cats meowing, and I wasn't sure if it was. Of course, he's welcome to talk. I don't even know if he's watching.
I thought he was
anymore.
back in your room.
He's welcome.
Always.
We're on a good streak, him and I. He's my
We
buddy.
need more cousins on this Clown World Cousins. I feel like my family's been towing the cousin line.
More people, yeah, people are busy though. With the holidays and everything, and the holidays, Mother's Day and Memorial. Oh my god, I just said the holidays. Talk about a timeline slip.
Really? Those are your holy days, Faye? That's weird.
Holy days. Holy days.
It comes from
No,
those are my holy days.
But America, like, I totally get it. Like, I'm a mother, but just even celebrating Mother's Day in this godforsaken country, like, was giving me agita. Okay, it's like, yay, let's just making me feel a little sick. It's like, yeah, can I please celebrate Mother's Day in a country that's literally discussing after-birth abortion? Like, yay, Mother's Day, you psychopaths. Like, you just love mothers here, don't you? You, me. I'm pointing the finger right back at myself. I don't mean to sound so judgy. Go ahead.
TJ, with your AI picture, I do keep coming across that horrible, disturbing picture that I typed into Chat GP. No, it wasn't. It was Dolly I want to say. But anyway, that's where this TJ got his image from.
Chat GPT. The South
It,
Park
wa- it was
episode.
like Dolly, I'm sure, or something like that.
The South Park episode of Chat GPT was pretty funny. What did he type, TJ? If you don't mind, what did you type in? Like sun,
Could you do that
solar
outside?
eclipse.
Thank you.
And thank
Doesn't
you-
it? No, it's
thank
outside the
you
room.
for being here. Everyone like and subscribe, and I really mean it. The last time around, I gave Mary a hard time, but guys, like honestly, what the hell are we doing here if you're not liking and subscribing? Like, it's a really good point. It's like you know what? I don't like to brand myself, and this has always been my downfall with life. I'm branding myself. Like and subscribe. Ugh.
Like and describe.
Like
Because
and
good luck.
subscribe and
Good luck describing what the hell we're doing up here. Because not even
We
fair.
had,
Nick.
we had a 4-hour meeting on Thursday and we couldn't figure it out. We were just like talking.
Oh, hold on. I do want to see this. Okay. The origins of Mother's Day was about mothers coming together to help less fortunate. Oh,
Very sweet. Thank you. Joe, can you come up, sweetie, when you get a chance? Or send up prison Mike?
Oh
No,
my
don't-
gosh. Check this out. Life and death. That's what, yeah. But doesn't that other thing kind of remind you of the CV, the CV-19?
Little
thing?
bit.
A little
The
bit.
cartoon. The big scary cartoon that was when I would say I had I had more normie friends when that thing was kicking off, and I would like Google CV-19 and images, and I'd be like, doesn't it make you laugh that every time I Google it, it will be in a different color? Because when it first came out, the color that stuck was the red picture, Mary. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
that's
when
what
it
I.
first
Yep.
came out, I have images of it. They like when it was first blown up, like it would come up in green, blue, yellow, all these cartoons of it. And I would say to like my normie friends, like, don't you think that? And they I was ruining it for them.
You're ruining it. We want
Yes.
to play make believe. We want to LARP. Come on.
Hi, sweetie. Thank you. How you like the show so far? Joe, are you happy with the comeback?
Great comeback.
Don't call
Don't
it a
call it a
comeback. Been here for years, LL Cool J. Thank you, my love. My wine.
I forgot
God.
to do our freaking brand.
You did. We'll end with it.
Where
So
the hell is my brand?
So
I gotta
Joe just
find
came
it.
up to pour my wine. Mary, I want to ask you this because I know you like your wine too. Maybe Mary, I think that the wine woman psyop, they want it over. I keep getting they came up with some alternative to wine, and I don't know if you remember when we first started streaming, and I've told you for years, I fell for the woman wine psyop. You know, our mothers used to get together. It was never like, Debbie, grab a bottle of wine on your way over. You know what I mean? They had
It was always a
tea.
cup of tea.
Right.
It was
And
very
then-
dignified.
but it wasn't, but no mothers. And like over the years, like wine became like a woman thing. And I love that psyop, and I'm drinking my wine right now. But I've noticed that I'm getting a lot of there's this new thing called stop whining, alternative to wine. Like I think the infamous they are a little sick of how much
I
women are
resent
drinking.
it. I resent it because I will say I was listening to somebody that I just happened to come across. She was talking about Britney Spears, which I'm also like pretty invested in. And
Me too.
she was this woman, young woman. She was, in her 20s. She was talking about like oh my gosh. She was talking about like, oh, they have all these like faux drinks at bars that are, they're non-alcoholic, and it's like we used to just call that virgin, but I'm glad that you guys think that this is new.
Right. That's interesting. That's interesting. I didn't hear that, but yeah, I've noticed that I'm getting like these little ads about like stop drinking, no moderation. Are they, oh my god, are they gonna take wine away? are they like maybe I better stock up? Or you know what?
No, they're not, because they're taxing us. Remember when I was at your house, my stupid, hold on, Wheels isn't here, I don't think.
Hi,
so
Wheels.
I was talking to Wheels and I was like, I don't know, Wheels. I got to quit smoking this week. He's like, Mary, I've been talking to you now for 2.5 years, and you've been saying that for 2.5 years. So when I went to Faye's house, I had a nicotine patch on, right, Faye? I did. And Faye's like, I don't know. I think the whole like anti-smoking thing is a psyop. I was like, Faye, I'm voluntarily paying $150 a month in taxes. And I'm not even adding the vice tax for alcohol or, also the recycling tax. Why are they still charging us 5 cents a can? Because I do like beer more than wine, to be honest. But they're still, I'm paying 5 cents a can, but we have single stream recycling. So that doesn't really make sense anymore. Why are they still doing that? It's all like we're going to tax people on the things they enjoy, and they call it a vice
Right.
tax.
Well, we all know that money isn't their motivation, but I agree with what you just said. But also, it's like during the whole COVID, they kept the liquor stores open, and I think the dispensaries the whole time too. I'm not
No, no,
not a
no.
dispensary girl, but
They don't charge to recycle. So when you get, I'm just going to use this as an example that I just happen to have on hand. All right, so it's my Heineken, right? And at the top of the can, you can see like 5 cents deposit for like all these states: Vermont, Maine, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts. Okay. So when I bought this can of beer, I had to pay an extra 5 cents. Okay. They want me to go back to the store with this can when it's empty and to get my 5 cents back. But now we have what's called single stream recycling, where you can throw cardboard, plastic, beer cans into the recycling bin. And, waste management, another huge psyop, just bullcrap, comes and they take it all. And so I'm still paying the 5 cents on the can of beer, but at the same time, I'm not going. Why do I have to add an extra step to get my 5 cents back when I'm already recycling it? You see what I'm saying? He says, I see. You get it, Faye?
because it's all insanity and it's all busy work and it's all, as my mom says, keep the job going. You know what I mean? Just this behemoth system of government. I mean, that's just that's usually my go-to answer with anything involving these government programs.
It's just upsetting. He's saying like big pharma, but no, big pharma. I wouldn't say I'm addicted to Heineken. On Friday, when I'm talking to Faye, this is my go-to, not wine, Faye. I'm not part of the wine psyop, but yeah, I love Heineken. Um, but I just feel like they're just gonna keep taking our money wherever they can, and they're like slapping it with a vice tax. Whereas real things that are real vices, like pornography, there's no
Mhm.
tax. You don't even have to
That's
put in
free.
an age for that. I heard that Utah, Pornhub's not in Utah anymore because you have to prove your age. So Pornhub pulled out. It's like, really, this is, adult entertainment. Why are you so against that? I feel the same way with my 5 cents here and me having to pay taxes on smokes. But
Yeah. This is why I I just try to opt out as much as I can. And literally I've found I just literally I love working with dogs because there's no cell phones and any of this nonsense. I have to like get my jobs over the internet and stuff, but I love it. It gets me out. I know that's always my go-to when we start talking about this stuff because it literally hurts my brain, Mary. You know what I
I,
mean? Like 5 cents here, register this. You know what I mean? It's never ending, but people
oh
are
my
into it.
gosh,
Some
the
people love
environment.
it.
We are seriously, as a country, as a culture, so I just saw this and it's all very triggering. All right. Yeah. Yep. That's another thing. Your carbon footprint, it's all a bunch of control. It's all control. How many
Mary,
so what?
you were just literally in my piece of crap Kia Soul from 2012, and I'm not kidding. It's got duct tape on it. It's a mess. It. Do you think do you think it's me hurting the environment, or like these Davos creeps in their private? But yes, let me pay a tax because I'm so bad and I'm just ruining everything with my tiny little car that I barely even go on the highway with.
You know what
Falling
car
apart.
I wanted? And I'm gonna be honest, this is like spoiled twit type of conversation right now. So just brace yourself, all right? So I got rid of my other car and I did want an electric vehicle. Because I know you're falling for it, you're falling for
I
it.
don't know. I don't know anything about them. I really don't. Yeah, I know they're
No, that was
expensive. That's what
it
I
it,
know.
it sounds like I was falling for it. But then I
Yeah.
saw that Mustang has a beautiful looking electric vehicle and the Mustang on the emblem on the front, it lights up. I was there for that.
Oh boy.
Right. So my husband went to the dealership and he was talking to the guy.
Wait a second. Wait, I love that this story doesn't end with like, Faye, I just saw it in a magazine I liked it. You're like, so then my husband went to this. That's
No,
pretty spoiled. Go on. I love it. Go ahead.
it's a spoil, but okay. It is. But my husband does entertain me. Okay. He's so kind. So he was like, all right, I'm going to go check this out. If this is what you want, we'll manage. So anyway, he goes, the car's ridiculously expensive. But then he's talking to the guy and he's like, yeah, for one charge, you get, what was it, Mike? It was something ridiculous. It was like, you get like 200 miles on one charge. And then my husband's looking at a map in Massachusetts of all the charging stations. And he's like, yo, this isn't gonna work. He's like, Mary. And I was like, I want that car. And Mike had to speak, reason to me. And he's just like, this is a gimmick right now. And he's like, we can't do it. I mean, what are you going to do? Where are you going to charge your car? There's like 3 charging stations in Norwood. And I was like, well, just hook it up to the house. Anyway, you can't do that. It's not how it works. But the bottom line is my husband did get me a beautiful Ford Escape.
I did like your Ford Escape. I did see it in my driveway.
A gas guzzling Ford Escape.
My question is, and I really don't know. So is like the gimmicky or like is like the gotcha thing is that if you have an electric car and you go to charge it at one of these stations that seem to not be very convenient or a lot, do you have to pay to charge, or is it like, oh, now that I've got my expensive,
you gotta charge it, you gotta pay to charge it, and it takes several hours. Like it will take like 16 hours to charge.
Okay. And but how long? Okay, so and
24. Hold on, I'm wrong.
I don't know how long they last.
I'm wrong. Mike says 24 hours. It's like, where the hell
how long will that last?
It only lasts for 200 miles, Faye. It's like going back and forth to the grocery store. I'm going to look super cute in my Mustang, but
Well,
like, forget about if I want to go.
That's
You're
what they already have
right.
with me with my crappy Kia Soul.
The 20-minute cities. It all ties into these, like, what is it? 20-minute cities and
15 minutes.
Yeah, you're nailing it right now. Yeah. Look cute driving around your 20-minute city, guys. Because guess what? You're not going to New Hampshire because you don't have enough charge.
Where your family lives because they can no longer afford Massachusetts. Wow. It gets overwhelming.
I know. Let's catch up with the chat real quick. I feel like I've been talking a lot, Faye.
No, you're good. It's good to talk to you. I missed you.
I know. All
But I
right.
saw you yesterday, so I didn't. I missed you, but I saw you yesterday, so I didn't miss you.
I still missed you
I
since
still want you.
yesterday.
I want you to, before you catch up in the chat. I want you guys. I want you to tell the chat because I've been always trying to explain, like when we talk about where we live, about how Salem is like a movie set.
Hold
And
on,
as soon
hold
as
on,
you
hold on.
go
Let's
ahead.
catch up with the chat first.
All
I
right.
love
I
that.
loved
I
your
love
joke.
that.
You nailed it. Yeah.
All right, because I think they're like a couple seconds behind. So Mike's saying the MAGA stations only take 8 hours. Oh, is that it? That's still that's a full-time
That's a
job
full-time
charging my
thing,
car. Oh, see, no. The Ford doesn't, but Ford does have some interesting patents out right now where literally they could make your car shut off, same as all these other smart cars. They can override your car so that it could be easily repossessed, or if you're, on the minority report list, they
Like it
can
won't start. Like it won't
disable.
start. Like when you need to go, they could just like make it not start. Hi, Tucker. Right?
The wall charging. Okay, so it's the wall. When I was yelling at Mike, being like, "Why? I'll just plug it into the house." He's like, "Yeah, that's gonna take 24 hours, sweetheart, but
Oh
good luck with
boy.
that." Um, okay, so the Tesla can charge in the house, but I'm talking about a Ford. Tesla. Give me a break. Did Mr. Beast give you that car? That's what my kids always say when they see a Tesla. They have backup batteries. All right. Well, I wasn't talking about a Tesla, guys. These guys are really pro Tesla, apparently.
Well, that's interesting. So in the 1800s, really?
I
That's
think it's tongue in cheek at the same time as fact.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yes.
know.
Just like the freaking light bulb. Remember the birthday party for the light bulb at the fire station, the 100-year-old light bulb? I don't know if you guys sit through the boring crap that I sit through on YouTube, but I'm sorry, these efficiency light bulbs that are supposed to last 15 years, they don't. I want to have a 100-year-old birthday for a light bulb because all right, let's see.
What's
Let's
this I
scroll
got in the
down.
mail? Mary. Oh, it's from Mary. Birthday party for my light bulb. Sorry, I'm a
I've been
nerd.
to Salem. Salem's an interesting place. All right, so
Well, if
back
you're
to
ever in
Salem.
the area of World of Bliss, please let us know through Mary
Oh,
because she does everything.
absolutely.
I love it.
Okay, so we go to the cemetery, and I guess Faye has been talking to Joe about this cemetery, being like, yo, there's something up with this cemetery, right?
I've always said that I just feel it looks Salem is a tourist trap, and Mary, like I wanted to show you more, like I wanted to show you like the other parts and stuff, but you had to go. But so I just took her to like the touristy parts. But I loved what she said as soon as she walked in because there's just it looks like it's like a movie set. So Mary saw it and she said, "Do you remember?" It's so funny.
I feel like all I was saying was like, no.
No, the first thing she said, she goes, "I feel like the Haunted Mansion at Disney
Oh,
is done better." But she was dead serious, and she like it was almost like you weren't saying it to make me laugh. You like were saying it to yourself, and you were like, why does the Haunted Mansion at Disney feel more real than this? And then I was like, yes, and you know what I mean? And then we started talking about it, and we walked through, and the stuff like I've always known it looks fake, but like there's the trees, first of all, they're very big, but they also kind of look young, and there's like stones on top of the tree roots and everything's
no, like
really
yeah,
close
like
to
in the tree roots, it's like, okay, if this was a real cemetery, we all know trees will grow. They're gonna cut down that tree. They're not gonna let it like destroy. Even back in the day, so we have near
back
me.
in the day. Mary, you were saying it's not that far away. You're like, Faye, 1843.
That's what I was about to say. What we have here in one town over in Westwood is the grave of a drummer boy from the Revolutionary War. All right. Whether you believe it or not, I can tell you that that it's an old headstone. And
I'm
it
just
looked
trying. Okay, I want to hear, but I'm just trying to think like the grave of a drummer boy. So I'm trying to think of a world where there's a war going on, a revolutionary war, and it's like, well, you're you're 10, Jimmy, and your job is going to be the drummer boy. We're going to put you up front, and you're going to be the front of the. What did the drummer boy do? Like, did he just like do? The army's
he's like,
coming. Okay,
well,
I'm
all right, this is okay.
the story. Sorry, I'm sorry. I've never
This
heard
is
it
a
before.
world that we don't understand anymore. A lot of like dancing, like Irish, especially like I only can speak from Irish dancing hard shoe. That was a battle dance because the pounding on the ground was intimidating. I know Native Americans had something
Yes.
similar. So I think for like when we think of like the revolution, we think of like people on their fife, you
Yeah.
know, playing
Yeah,
Yankee Doodle.
I'm not saying it's fake. I mean, like, tell me, like, what would a drummer.
It's the
Yeah,
drumming that would be intimidating, and when
it's
I
like
say
the
a
war
drummer boy,
drums. Yeah.
yeah, when
How
I say
old
a
was
drummer
he?
boy, he was 16. So back in the day, he should have been married, had his own farm at that point.
He's you know what, he's still a year younger than my baby,
I
which
know, right?
crushes me, but go ahead, yeah.
So, anyway, his headstone, I have seen it. And I'm looking at his headstone and then going to the Haunted Mansion headstone park in Salem, and it's like no, these things they don't this isn't real. This is for entertainment purposes only for tourists. But there were a couple, Faye, remember I said to you, I was like, what I think this was an actual family plot,
Yeah.
and then they took that and they made it like um a tourist trap basically and put in all these fake headstones.
Well, that's what
Oh,
Christian Knapp and I would always talk about that. That's how Joe and I became friends with Christians because we lived in the same area. And the truth is where I'm sitting right now and where Christian lived, it was all a huge area. It was almost the Boston of Massachusetts. This area was going to be the capital. So you're right. That area just took it on like the touristy, like, oh, we're the witchy part. Like, we don't know where the stuff really happened. I bet like some of the woods I walk in alone, you know what I mean? There's some
oh
stuff.
yes. Yes, because also another thing we were talking about while we were walking through this haunted mansion graveyard is we were talking about like mud flood. Where does this all tie in? All this history, because we can't say everything is fake, but what we can say is timelines are off. A lot of things are fake. I do agree with that. But it's like, where does like meltology, the mud flood, where does this, what is the timeline here? But I will say those dances are frequencies in motion.
Love that.
That I agree with, you know?
Yeah, that's really cool. You just told me about Irish step dancing. I never did it, but as an Irish American, I grew up watching people, and I never wanted to do it, and I never kind of really understood it because you had to keep the arms next to you.
Yes.
But now that you just explained it as like a war dance, doing it on a floor, like that's an ancient art. Like I just got a new appreciation
And
for it.
also think about it with it's not like other dances like clogging where your arms are doing something, tap dancing where your arms are doing something. You're focusing your energy completely into your feet, and that's
Wow.
why I agree. I mean, that there's some sort of a frequency exchange between the ground and putting all your weight into your footsteps and
Well,
it being
grounding.
intimidating.
Ooh, yeah.
Mm, yeah.
Hmm. Well, that seems that just like. Do you remember? It hasn't. Oh my god! I just looked over at the pile of laundry I have. It's ruining my weekend. But anyway, I'm sorry. Do you remember that? It was years ago, but it got like really big, especially like kind of like the older ladies who are probably like our age now, would have been our age now. But I'm like the Lord of the Dance, Mary. Remember him, the Lord of the Dance, and
Michael Flatley, who was the biggest scam in history and the
tell
only
me because I don't ever remember hearing that amazing like tidbit about like this was like a war dance and that's what you like this was an ancient dance. I just remember hearing the Lord of the Dance and that was the one
Okay,
time
no,
that
no,
I
no.
actually
River Dance came first. Okay.
okay.
I've been to all of them and they were beautiful. I loved it. They were masterpieces. But Michael Flatley, his family is very powerful and that's the only reason why he could put on those tight pants and tap around on stage. He was nobody special and somebody else wrote those like performances for him. He was a
Yeah.
hack.
I feel like nepotism is out of control, and I don't know who a lot of like the new famous musicians or actors or actresses are, but when I do see them like in passing, they're always a child of someone that was famous before them. I think they're called nepo babies. And I mean, I know nepotism's always been around, but it seems like in every industry, everyone is a child of someone big named. Have you noticed that, Mary?
Of course.
Or am I just delusional? Has that always existed?
It's
Does it?
always existed.
Yeah,
Nepotism, I think, goes back to what Greek mythology. Birdie would know. What
right.
mythology? Birdie, come here.
Oh,
Sorry for smoking again. I'm so evil. Nepotism. Who was it? Greek mythology.
Nepotism?
where it came
Yeah.
from.
No, you're thinking of narcissism.
Oh, I'm thinking of narcissism. Thank you, Birdie. See, I always need my fact checkers.
Yeah, that's a good story. Matt from Quantum did a really good video on Narcissus. I love that. He did a really good quick video on Echo and Narcissus. I enjoyed it.
Anyway.
Anyway, what
So
else?
anyway, I'm so happy that we're back. I'm not feeling as if we were ultra negative.
Yeah.
You guys want to get negative? Yo.
Yeah, you know what? I think we needed a break, and I can speak for myself. I was on it wasn't because of the show or anything. I just kind of like I when I went and rewatched it, I told you, Mary, like I looked like I was sucking on a lemon half the show, just like it is not you guys or Mary or the show, but it's like okay, we all know like there's a lot not to be happy about, and I don't know. It's like what Zeph Dan used to say. At some point you begin to feel like a guy with Tourette's yelling at traffic. And that's kind of like what I was feeling like. I was being so like in my own head, and I like that one episode we did when I was in my pajamas and I was like just a little
You go ahead. I'm just putting these up for later. Go ahead.
fake telephone is doing what? I don't know, three fingers hello.
But yeah, in your head, right?
I was just when I looked back at every like I just it's like I look like I'm sucking on a lemon. I'm telling everyone that we need to repent. I was like the sky is falling. Like and I just needed to breathe. Like and it's like there is a lot to be bad about. And honestly, I woke up at 3 a.m. last night. I told Mary and you know sometimes I can pray and bring it back and go back to sleep. Last night I couldn't, so I literally had a little nap today, and I was just like freaking out about the trans kids thing. It's not like I'm, you know, but then it's like, you know what? I hate the child abuse, but I have to focus on my life and you and, you know, and my beautiful doggy Tucker. And so, yeah, so how are you feeling? So that's why I kind of needed a break. I wasn't trying to be negative, but I was kind of just like banging my head against a wall. And you know what I mean, Mary? Go ahead.
So yes, I needed a break also. I feel like people may not understand how self-conscious and also self-accusatory we are, and we do come up here, we talk about things. Sometimes it does sound like we're being kind of bitches and stuff, but we do hold ourselves to the same standard that we judge others. And I can honestly say I'm pretty easygoing on myself. Hold on. All right. And I just think that it's like, yeah, sometimes you got to call bull crap where there's bull crap, but that doesn't have to be the whole of the story.
Sure.
There's more going on. God is working, and there's a lot of amazing things going on right now. And sometimes we do fall into this, like, speaking of waking up in the middle of the night, I do think it's interesting you said 3 a.m., but I'm not going to harp on that, which is,
well, we can get into it next time because it usually is like 3 a.m. And you know what else? I'll start paying attention to it next time we talk. You pay attention too.
There is something to be said for that, but it's like, I'm not here to be accusatory. I'm not here to be cruel to people. I want people to be aware. I want us all to go together into this new battle, this new frontier, which is unlike anything. And maybe that's not you, Faye, but also I'm over on Discord with my fellow warriors over there. We are fighting a new frontier, a new battle, and
it's uncharted territory. And thank you for saying it. I didn't know you were going to bring it there. That's why, like, and I don't want to ever make anyone feel bad. Like what you just said. You guys, I walk around all day. I get a lot of time in my head walking dogs, leaving the phone in the car. Things will come to me from my past that literally make me cringe. I am not perfect. I am not up here, but like, I love what you just said. We are in literally uncharted territory. This is for us that see the Mandela effect. Reality is literally changing. It's literally a battle against good and evil. So we need each other. And I'm so glad that we did this tonight. And you know what? If anytime we need a break, we'll take a break, but you'll always be my cousin.
Yes, and I will say, once we get to the point where we can actually recall the scriptures we're trying to talk about, maybe then, we could be more authoritative. I don't feel like we ever try to come across as authorities. We're here literally, like, you help us and let's talk about these things. That's why we always try to keep the chat engaged. Let's see what other people are saying.
Let's be honest. We've had shows where we're talking so much that at the end we're like, "Oh, we forgot to say hi to the chat." So sometimes
I think that's only happened like twice, to be honest.
But it's totally by accident. It's just because like we're like really on fire for something that week and we have a lot to say. We don't mean it. And then we go back and we always talk. It's like, oh, we forgot about the chat, but that's just us. Mary and I are scatterbrained
about the good thing.
we are like we can. It doesn't matter if it's just us or with our family or on here. But I love that about us because we don't know where it's going to take us. But I am, so I ask for what I'm willing to give other people is just like mercy. And, I'm trying not to make snap judgments of people, and everyone's fighting their own battle. And like I said earlier in the show, like I get mad about everyone has been through abuse, and then you can link it through. Like I was thinking of my grandmother coming here when she's 13 years old by herself. I don't have any stories. She never told me about what happened to her on that boat, but I bet she was pretty scared as a 13-year-old girl all by herself on a boat. Like that's messed up. I got chills thinking about it just now. We got Mary, we are in uncharted territory. We need to be there for each other as much as we can and support each other. Right?
Frank. Wait for it. Okay. Frank, like, what about the good things? There's so many good things. You saw we started it with good things. Like, and I'm not,
good thing. I'll get you guys a good thing. Hold on.
I mean, God is so good to us. Every time that a new child comes into the world, it tells me God still believes in us. He's like, you guys can still do it. Here's another soul,
Are you telling me that a creator that doesn't love us didn't make this? So I've always wanted a little dog. And of course, Joe being the guy is like, no. Have you guys heard this little guy yap once?
No. He's
He's
been a
been
very
right.
good boy.
He's a very good boy. He's tired. Look at his little paws. He snored. So I just wanted to show you, Frank. We're trying with the good things. Look at him. Look at his little
No,
tongue.
that was it. That was like a back and well, he's only kidding. He's totally
Look
kidding.
at him.
But like, guys, there is a lot of hope going on right now. Like, I will say communities are growing, and I'm just going to keep it secular because that's, non-controversial. The prepper community is growing by leaps and bounds. People have seen what the powers that be are capable of in 2020, and now they're like, you know what, maybe I need to wake up, stop trusting all these systems. So that's a great awakening. Another great awakening obviously is more people coming to scripture because they are looking for a purpose, because all these young people, especially, their purpose has been robbed from them. And so, I mean, God help us. That's all I have to say on that.
God help us. I say it about 100 times as I look up to the sky because I have no other words and we need it. And I look at all these, like you said, Mary, there's so much beauty around us and all these the children, the little babies I see, I mean, are breathtaking. I got this little boy. His name's Asa. Okay, my neighbor had him, and I'm saying it weird, but he's walking his carriage by my house. He looks up at me with a smile. I go, oh my God, look how ladies look at you. He's so cute. I love him so much. But anyway, glowing child, like sunbeams floating. I mean, my kids are older, so I get a little more excited about the really littles. But I see these they just keep getting more beautiful and beautiful every day. So God,
God is with us.
You and Francis Sage were talking about it once. It's never left my head. When you told me about a conversation you had where this is a place where heaven meets hell, and right? Like, what was that? Do you want to share that? It was an interesting comment.
Well, I think we covered that before at one point where it's the history, the kind of like the history or the understanding of purgatory. And so what is purgatory? It's neither heaven nor hell. And there are a lot of people that believe that we're in a purgatorial state here because of the uncertainty. Some people say it's a trial. I'm not going down the road of like we're in the Matrix. I don't believe that. I feel like even my physical body has so much purpose that I'm not serving the Lord with.
I agree with you. I'm not a fan of simulation theory. I'm just not a fan. It doesn't resonate with me at all. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. But anyway. Ooh, and Angora cat. Hold on. I'm just curious. Curious. I'm getting tired. You can see like the
I know.
Circles. Circles are coming out. Oh no, good.
And there's the hell. We're talking about heaven, but there's the hell. The abuse of children and animals is where this one here flies off the rails. And this is why I wake up at 3 a.m, because we're living in a world where child abuse is not only going on in broad daylight, but it's being celebrated. It's hard, but it is hard. It is unprecedented times. And it definitely helps to have people that are, that we can talk to. What's up, Mary?
Yeah, I want to wrap it up. If that's all right. We've been going an hour and a half. I do want to do our brand real quick because my friend did do that for me. But when I end the stream, don't hang up. All right. I want
to tell everyone, seriously, like and subscribe, because seriously, if not, what the hell are we doing here?
We have access to each other 24 hours a day, 7
Yeah.
days a week.
But it's really,
No.
it is a really good point because you know what? Like, what is this? If I'm not, what do I have a channel for if I don't want people to like it? And thank you for listening. Either
I
tonight
know.
or later. If you want, leave a comment with a question. I mean, we're not, experts on anything, but if there's anything you ever want us to talk about or clarify.
Oh my gosh,
we
or
can-
react to. Everybody thinks
react to.
Yeah, everybody thinks you and I should be a truth or react channel. I've heard that
Yeah.
way too much because
Right.
that would be hilarious. I'll give them that because you and I are scandalized so easily.
And we both, I'm an admitted basket case, and I can't promise I'll be here every week, but as long as Mary and my husband encourage me, and as long as there's breath pumping through these lungs, and I can reach out to you people, so keep the faith. Right,
Amen.
Mary?
Amen.
Amen. All right, well,
All
it's
right,
good. Thank you, Mary.
Hold on. Don't hang up. Literally.
won't.
Don't hang up. I got to find
I
our
won't.
brand because I'm so high tech. Hold on.
I love it.
All right.
Miranda.
God bless. Thank you all for joining us.